Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we're going to react shit. Today, we're going to react to why didn't Mario become a bigger star? Facts. Why didn't he become a bigger star? Especially after that one song. Baby, you should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want in me. Oh, baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. Baby, you should let me. You deserve better. No, you deserve better, girl. Should be together, girl, baby. And me and you is whatever, girl. Hey. Let me love you, baby. You should let me love you. Let me be. That was my shit. How the fuck did he not blow up after this? Shout out to Mario, by the way. Virgo gay. Virgo season right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Virgo gang in the building.
We make love, but I don't call you my lover. I do for you, you do for me.
Mario Dewar Bennett, or simply Mario, born August 27, 1986. If you were old enough to remember 2002, a few things stick out about that year that were important to hip-hop and R&B. Jay-Z and R. Kelly working on a joint album called Best of Both Worlds, Nelly releasing what would become his second Diamond album, becoming one of only two rappers to ever go Diamond back-to-back, joining Eminem, Ashanti's debut, A-Marie's debut, and the 2002 Mario version of the 1968 classic Freddie Scott, You Got What I Need. Of course, who can forget the 1989 Biz Markie version, Just a Friend, that became a hip-hop classic. Mario was just 15 years old at the time when he burst on the scene, blowing up into one of the hottest new artists with one of the hottest videos on the charts, equipped with a time capsule of headbands, sports jerseys, Rocawear, and even braids. It was the drip started at the time as Mario combed and danced his way after the girl of his dreams that didn't see him for more than just a homie that danced and does music. For a small window, Mario had the chance to really lead the charge for young R&B artists off the heels of past 90s greats like Genuine, 112, Usher, Tevin Campbell, Keith Sweat, and more. His cover of Just a Friend stormed up the charts, peaking as the fourth most popular song of the year in the US. Funny, the song was actually given to Mario after Usher let the hit slip through his fingers because of a shelved album he never released. The song turned Mario into a household name and honestly was perfect and better suited for the teen star.
That ain't what happened. What happened was, I think the album leaked. That's what happened. The album leaked. And motherfuckers was illegally downloading the fucking album, so everybody had the fucking album. So Usher had to scrap that and make 8701 instead. Because the album leaked.
His debut album would go gold behind that song and a few others, leading to his sophomore album 2 years later that did even better. Album 2 had his biggest single to date leading it, a song called Let Me Love You.
Yeah.
The song was an absolute hit that became #1 across the charts in the US, going platinum and earned Mario a Grammy nomination for Best Male Vocal Performance. It was the 8th most successful single of the decade according to Billboard and made the top 50 of their top 100 singles of their first 50 years. It went on to win tons of awards and stamped Mario as an artist with superstar potential, his first hit song that wasn't a cover, leading the platinum 2004 album Turning Point. That album remains Mario's staple album and peak of his career. He's released 3 more albums following over the years, but that was the final time he went gold or platinum and hasn't seen that level of success, or some would say anywhere close, ever since. He was supposed to be the next big R&B star, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to Florida's finest 05 for this request. It's your boy JC Stunner Growth Music. Let's get it. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Mario is a singer, songwriter, actor, and dancer from Baltimore, Maryland that became popular at 15 years old, like mentioned in 2002. But much before that, he was on track to being a star since 4 years old. It's when his mother saw he not only had singing talent, but craved it and wanted to follow it, and most importantly, he loved to entertain. She bought him a karaoke machine, which he used to practice his performances, and would sing at a local barbershop for anyone willing to stop, listen, and maybe leave a small donation. This and talent shows were the weekly routine of young Mario, but one talent show in particular, where he performed a rendition of 112's I'll Make Love to You, caught the eyes of producer Troy Patterson, who began managing him and brought his demo to Clive Davis of J Records, who signed him and placed him in the studio to work on his debut album, set to release within a year. He was 14 years old at the time. Stunt number 1, sat back and watched. Mario's first growth stunt, in my opinion, was the fact he sat back after his sophomore album and first to go platinum and watched as his competition came and stole his lane.
Facts. Facts. This is a problem with a lot of guys, bro. Now, Usher is the exception because Usher had the biggest album out at the time. But, like, everything changed when Chris Brown came into the game. Once Chris Brown came into the game, everything changed, bro. Because it was like Omarion didn't hit like he didn't hit the ball running. Because you got to think about it. Usher dropped Confessions. There's a 3 to 4 year gap between Confessions and Here I Stand, which was Usher's next album. In that time span, Chris Brown was running shit by himself. R. Kelly was still around. Omarion, nowhere to be found. Mario, nowhere to be found. Genuine, nowhere to be found. Try to think who else. Who else was popping? 04. I'm trying to think. Joe wasn't producing nothing. Who else wasn't producing shit around this time, bro? I'm trying to think of all the R&B acts around this time frame. Bro, it was a lot of artists that had a gap to continue the R&B manifold. Only R. Kelly and Chris Brown was holding down the fort. Mario was playing off that fucking "You should let me love you." Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Eventually that well is gonna run dry. We needed some new material, bro. You know what I'm saying? At that time, you had that 3 to 4 year span. You had Chris Brown running shit. You had R. Kelly still doing things. Neo was popping. Jay Holiday, Bobby Valentino, all them dudes was popping around this time. I don't get how nobody else was eating around this time, because Usher was on hiatus, bro. With the main guy at the time on hiatus, And the only major person you have to compete with besides Usher is R. Kelly, who was focusing on his Trapped in the Closet series, but at the same time was still producing some heat though. And then you got the young upstart and Chris Brown. I don't see how Mario, Genuine, and a lot of other cats did not take advantage around this time, bro. This was the perfect time for them to take advantage and really put their stamp on the game, bro. Genuine is a legend, but at the same time, he could have been bigger than this, bro. If he had, man, because the door was wide open for a lot of people, bro. But nobody went to snatch it, bro. Only Chris Brown and R. Kelly and Neo, to a certain extent, was the only ones out here making music. Everybody else was like, fuck it, Usher on break, I'm on break too.
Often hear the term golden era when referring to hip-hop and R&B. Well, the early 2000s is one of the eras they refer to.
Facts.
It was a time hip-hop culture was experiencing the fruits of their labor per se, after Bad Boy Records ushered the cleaning up and polishing of hip-hop, making it more marketable from the mid-90s to the beginning of the new millennium. By 2004, hip-hop artists were becoming stars left and right, and hip-hop and R&B music was selling at an all-time high.
Yep.
Mario had a taste of it in 2002 and an even bigger plate in 2004 when he went platinum for the first time and was receiving nominations and awards from everywhere music was critiqued. Maybe that's why after his sophomore album, he seemed to relax a bit and wouldn't release a third album for the next 3 years. In a time like that, in a golden era like such, that was a huge mistake. Within that time, R&B artists began to emerge, some huge fans of Mario, and others even partly responsible for his biggest works, like Chris Brown, Neo, and Trey Songz.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Trey Songz.
Chris Brown later said that
I forgot
Mario
about Trey
was one
Songz.
of
My
his
bad.
biggest inspirations as a child, and it shows. Go look and listen to his second single, Yo, that sounds like a track Mario would sing, and the video is eerily similar to Mario's Just a Friend. But with Chris, he was much more marketable, with a look coveted in urban culture at the time, danced better than anyone not named Usher, and still probably him as well, and had superstar personality as R&B's golden boy before beating up A$AP Rocky's baby mom Rihanna. Brown first released in 2005. Also releasing in 2005 was Trey Songz, another R&B star that brought sexy to the game for the females and enjoyed a run himself from 2005 to 2017 with either platinum or gold albums. Then in 2006, R&B artist Neo released his debut album and became one of the biggest R&B artists in the world. Interestingly, he wrote Mario's biggest song ever, Let Me Love You, before penning hit after hit for himself and others throughout the next 2 decades. By the time Mario was ready to release again in 2007, he no longer owned the young R&B star lane, watching as Brown, Neo, and Songz dominated the next decade and more, stealing his style and lane. Stunt number 2.
I wouldn't say stealing his style. Everybody had their own style. Mario got his style. Chris got his style. Trey got his style. Neo got his style. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, my guy. Let's not do that. Nobody was stealing nobody's style, bro. It's all the same. Everybody doing the same shit. You selling wolf tickets to get some pussy. That's what you doing. That's what an R&B artist does. You sell fantasies and wolf tickets to get some pussy.
Label dropping the ball. Mario's first issue of waiting too long to release and letting other artists eat in his lane may be the result of poor label managing of the R&B star, and even he feels that way when looking back on his career. He says during the process of his third album Go in 2007, he was by then going through so much. From issues with his mother and her drug use, even accused of assaulting her before charges were dropped, to him experiencing mature things he wanted to also write about, but the label wanting to make him into as much as a pop star as possible, to a feud with manager Troy Patterson for what he called an oppressive deal where he made $500,000 from going platinum, while the label made over $20 million. Because the two couldn't find a balance, it led to Mario not being promoted like he should have been, and his resentment for it, leading to the music not being what it once showed the potential to be. There were no chart-topping hit songs on Go, an album he dedicated to his mother, and one released in Africa 2 months before being released in the US.
That's crazy.
J Records fought not to release this version because it didn't have the crossover hit they wanted, but for Mario, it was personal and something he wanted to give to his fans. He says the disconnect has always been an issue, and this time it killed his career. J Records was shut down and merged to RCA Records, whom too didn't make Mario a featured artist in their plans. Stunt number 3, no more hits. Along with Mario dealing with artists taking over his lane and becoming worldwide superstars, his label not promoting the music he wanted to make correctly or with enthusiasm, he was also dealing with his mother being on heroin that became public on his 2007 reality show about he and his mother, who eventually overdosed in 2017. In 2009, he released his final hit song, Break Up, featuring Gucci Mane, that went platinum, but the album failed to meet expectations, not going gold or platinum, and since then, Mario has failed to produce more hits that could compete with other new R&B acts or the times R&B began fading altogether. It took almost a decade for an album after his 2009 DNA, his last coming in 2018, without a charting song or much attention at all. All in all, it's sad Mario had to go through all he did personally, when it's clear he just wanted to create music since a young child. He dealt with a lot and still made great songs over the years that were either ill-timed or not promoted like they should have been, and it cost him his potential. He's still a staple of 2000s R&B, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. Salute, much respect. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.
Man, that's crazy though. He wanted to put out a personal album. They're like, nah, we want you to make a pop album. The fuck, bitch? What I would have did was, and I'm not the type of person to conform, but I'm the type of person that likes to make his cake and eat it as well. I know they say you can't do that, but me, I don't give a fuck. I rewrite the rules. I don't give a fuck. Can't have your cake and eat it too. Bullshit. Bullshit. I can have my cake and I can eat it as well. I don't give a fuck. So what I would have did was, I would have made a pop album. Then I would have made the personal album, and I would have did it in a span of 6 months. So I would have made the pop album first, just so the label can be happy. And then 6 months down the line, when all the hits that they done promoted and all this shit done happened, look, y'all got y'all money, right? All right, now let me put this one out. Since I'm on fire right now, let me put this one out, give the people some more shit, and then let them ride out with that one. And then we'll see how that one does. And I'm pretty sure it would have did numbers because Mario was still relevant around this time. But it's how it be, man. It's how it be, man. It's how it be, man. Sucks, but that's how it be, though. You should be let you want to give you everything you want in me. I'm really good love and protection. Maybe a selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. Baby, you should let me love you.